Hey everybody, welcome back to the Play Too Much live sessions. My name is Jason Russo. I am joined today by the incredible pop sensation Prinze George. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I
Thanks
am
for
so
having
excited.
us.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you guys on. We were talking before during our sound check. I've been a fan of you guys all the way since 2016, since Illiterate Synth Pop came out. So I'm so stoked that you guys are coming on to play. And let's get right into it. What's the first song you're going to play for us?
Amazing. Thank you so much. We are going to start with a song called Take Off, which is on our new album that just came out called Happy Garden.
Great.
Track one.
All right, let's hear it.
Saw you in the living room, you were wild with the light and I wanted you. Tried to do the woman thing, I was eager, young and abandoning. I would force you to love me, I would force you to stay, I would force you to love me, I would stand in your way. And you can't take off without me now. 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 Travel to the older places to find you there in the golden spaces. Made out in Chicago, baby, you grabbed my face and you drove me crazy. See, I have forced you to love me, I have forced you to stay, I have forced you to love me, I am still in your way. And you can't take off without me now. And you can't take off without me now. And you can't take off without me now. And you can't take off without me now.
Yay! People always laugh when I clap, but like I've got to make it sort of reminisce, on the when we could be together. But that was awesome, guys.
That's
Thank
very
you.
sweet. Thank you.
So this is all the songs from today are off of your new EP, Happy Gardens. Can you walk us through a little bit about what that writing process was like? I know you mentioned that it's actually kind of old. So what was it like writing, and what was it like releasing now? All of that.
Yeah, we wrote it in 2018 in Brooklyn. A very different time in our lives. Obviously, a lot of time has lapsed between then and now. But, we didn't want to put it out before, we felt like we were in a solid place and we've got a new team and they're killing it and we're killing it just on a personal level, just healthy, happy, together.
Yeah, and I think the process of that too, we were kind of a little bit stuck in trying to evolve from our older sound that we had started. And I found this playlist called Italo Disco on Spotify, and it's this genre, this 80s genre that started in Italy of this, it's just really like funky, like sometimes kind of corny, almost
The
dance
lyrics
music.
are corny, but it sounds great.
But I was like, there's so much like potential with this genre to like maybe do our own spin on it. And I was talking to our friend Joey Verscazzi. Verscazzi's his producer name, and he was like, we should write together because we've known him for a few years. At that point, we had known him, And so I kind of was like, I think this genre, Italo disco, would be really cool. So I started kind of researching what synths and sounds were coming out of that era. So I kind of like set up this sound palette, and Joey flew to Brooklyn, and we basically just wrote this entire album in a week of just like using these very specific sounds, but like making it our own vibe.
Yeah, it was 2018 was the year of no sleep. So a lot of like the manic, energy on this EP kind of, I think, reflects that. We sleep a lot now.
The next album.
We're like, the next album is like in bed by 10, up at 6. Adulting.
Maybe that's what we need nowadays, is more structure.
Oh my God.
But,
I needed it so bad. We both did.
Yeah, but let's hear another one. Let's take it off. Yeah.
You can leave if you want. I don't need to tell you off in front of everyone. We love again. You can go on, you can go it alone. You will never be home by me. I can hang tight, I can do it alright. I could fuck it up tenderly. You can go home, you can go it alone. You will never be home by me. I can hang tight, I can do it alright. I could fuck it up tenderly. La 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 la. You can grieve if you like. Maybe it's just another night. Drink too much and dance it up and laugh it out and fight, fight, fight. You can go home, you can go it alone. You'll never be home by me. I can hang tight, I can do it alright. I could fuck it up tenderly. You can go home, you can go it alone. You will never be home by me. I can hang tight, I can do it alright. I can fuck it up tenderly. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Yeah. That's my personal favorite, so I was most excited for that one.
Awesome.
I figured it was your favorite somehow.
Oh, thank you.
I was like,
Huh.
I bet this is his favorite one. I don't know why.
I was drawn to
felt it from
Take
you.
Off. I was drawn to
Okay.
Take Off a lot, but then Tenderly sort of grew on me the more I listened. But yeah. But so a little bit of a sidebar, but you guys have worked with some huge names in music like Carnage, Diplo, G-Eazy, Wiz Khalifa. All of them kind of have different sounds from you. So what was that like working with them, setting that up? Was it, difficult merging your sounds, or was it like this crazy cool experience?
Yeah, well, it's funny because actually, the thing with Carnage ended up beginning sort of right after we wrote Happy Garden. So we were still in New York, and he kind of hit me up and was like, on my personal, slid into my DMs, if you will, and was just like, do you guys want to do something? And I didn't really know who he was, actually, because we just like live under a rock and don't stay current. We're trying to work on that. There's positives to that and also negatives. You miss out on stuff, but it also really helps you hone in on your own sound and your own craft when you're not constantly over-referencing. So we definitely like, I didn't know who he was before that. And it wasn't until actually we went out to LA to work with him in December of 2018 that I realized that he had done the song I Liked-Ta with McConan, which is a song that I love. And I didn't even know it was him until we got out there. And he brought up McConan, and I was like, oh my God, I love McConan. No pun intended. I really do. I love his voice. And he was like, yeah, I got a song with him. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I Liked-Ta. And I was like, oh shit, that's you? You know, so like, really it was kind of funny. I mean, we both didn't really know how it was going to end up, but we figured after the experience of making Happy Garden, which was a collaborative experience because we made that whole album with our friend Joey Verscozzi, we were kind of like, yeah, this collaboration thing is really exciting and it's unlocking things in us, and we should definitely, it's organically happening, so why would we say no to this? Let's give it a go. And yeah, I mean, it was super organic with Dee. It was like, you know, we write a lot, so those songs that we didn't really know where to put or where to place, we would send to him. And Letting People Go came about that way. Kenny and I wrote it, and he played the guitar and I sang on it. We sent it to Dee and he produced the hell out of it. And it just worked, you know? So
yeah, it definitely does. The merging of your sound is so, it works. It's almost something I wouldn't have expected, but then it merged. I love those unexpected
Listen,
collabs.
You and me both. I was like, we'll see. This might be weird as hell, but we're going to give it a go.
But it all of a sudden, yeah, something just clicked. It's kind of magical. But all right, I think we're ready for another song if you guys are.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
We're going to do I guess that was the last single that we released up to the release of the EP, which was called Centuries.
Awesome.
When we wake up early in the morning, fresh and clean, will we fall to pieces? Was it all a fucked up dream? Kiss me in the corners of my darkest memories, lift me up and chase me down the street for centuries. Sometimes I worry that our love is killing me. Sometimes I worry that our love is killing me. Sometimes I worry that our love is killing me. Sometimes I worry that our love is killing me. Would you grab the coffee? I'm so dizzy, I'm so tired. Raised my lifeless body back to work and now I'm wired. Sometimes I worry that our love is killing me. Sometimes I worry that our love is killing me. Sometimes I worry that our love is killing me. Sometimes I worry that our love is killing me. Sometimes I worry that our love is killing me. Sometimes I worry that our love is killing me. And I can't legs just follow yours, and I don't even care. And I can't run anywhere. My legs just follow yours, and I don't even care.
Awesome. Naomi, I have to say your voice is honestly, it's like nothing I've ever heard before. It's so unique and it works so well. It's, and I love
Thank
hearing it
you.
acoustically. It's so, such a treat.
Thank you so much. My mom has a crazy voice. So
Oh,
I
really?
feel like anytime someone says that, whatever, compliments the way that my voice sounds, I just feel like it's her compliment too, because, I mean, she sounds like Cinderella. She windows. She can sing insanely high too.
And she's on our song "The Writer."
Yeah,
That's
she
her-
Oh,
our
wow.
first EP ever. We had my mom on it, and I want to get her on the album that we're doing now too. She's insane. She's like an opera singer.
Wow. That's so awesome, and a perfect segue for my next question. So, you both have you've had really interesting jobs outside of the band. Like Kenny, I know you were a professor for a while, and
I
Naomi, you
was.
were a babysitter for Emily Mortimer and Alessandro Nivola.
Nivola.
Sorry, Nivola. So, was music something you guys always wanted to do? Did you fall into it? Were those like side gigs? How did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely moved to New York not to be babysitters, but it was such a great way. Before I worked for Em and Sandro, I worked for another family in 2014, Paula Schumann and Nivi Nord. And Paula was the editor-in-chief for the Daily Beast. And they had 2 little girls, they still do. And I took care of those girls every day for a year, and it allowed me, they were so cool. And really that first year where we laid the groundwork down and launched Prince George and everything, really like rent was paid and possible because of that job and their flexibility. So I could get the kids from preschool late, 20 minutes late if I had a meeting downtown. They were cool with that. They knew what our life was. We lived a block away from them. So they could text me and be like, we're an hour late. I'd be like, no worries. It was nothing. I was walking home, from work every day. So that really laying that first year groundwork down was huge. And Kenny was doing children's entertainment.
Yeah, I was working with a
Janice.
lady called Miss Janice, who's a friend, great
Miss
friend
Janice
now.
McDavid. She's
And
awesome.
we're
still in touch with her.
Yeah, and she does her own original music, and she was also doing this program called Music for Me. So I would go in with my guitar with her, and we would play like Twinkle Little Star to these kids. Sometimes I'd be like a little hungover from the night before. It was kind of funny, just like kind of some moments of like just in there with it.
And I actually ended up like doing that with Kenny a few times because basically they would do birthday parties for kids. And like wealthy adults in New York, it's like, what excuse can we come up with to drink mimosas on like a Saturday morning in December? So it would always be weekend gigs mostly. And so I wasn't working for my family on those weekends. So if Miss Janice needed a singer to fill in, because she kind of had a roster, but if nobody could do it or she couldn't do it, I would fill in. And so there were definitely some really funny performances
I remember
on
that one
where Kenny and I were singing like Old MacDonald Had a Farm, just hungover as shit, just like.
I remember this one kid in the front. It was like supposed to be like it was like some song with like animal cards, and
Oh
this
my
one kid in
God.
the front just kept going like "Rawr!" And we just couldn't hold it together at that point. But
Then
yeah.
we ended up working, so then we went back to Maryland and we were touring and doing shit for a few years. And then when we moved back to New York in 2018, that's when I got the job with Em and Sandro. And then basically they wanted like a music mentor for their daughter, Maisie, who I was babysitting. She's a really talented singer-songwriter, and she was even 2.5 years ago, she already was. So I became her music mentor, and so did Kenny. So then Kenny started coming over, and they would sort of pay us kind of a different hourly rate for, the hours that we were working on music with her. And we produced recordings with her and songs with her, and Traveled the world with them. It was kind of nuts. It was a crazy year for sure. It's like a wow to think about. But yeah.
That's awesome. So it sounds like the groundwork was there. You guys had all the avenues covered, and I'm sure
Yes.
playing for kids taught you how to perform with hecklers
That's
in the
true.
audience, things like that. You got
Oh
that all.
yeah. Oh, listen. Playing in DC and Maryland taught us everything we needed to know about hecklers. When you're playing back home, people are just screaming at you. They're like, "Hey," you know, our friends and stuff. Like we're used to that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really grateful for both of those jobs because they really allowed and nurtured the music stuff as well.
Yeah.
Even though I was babysitting, it was like in both of those jobs, I felt like I was also able to grow as a writer, and we were able to, you know, just keep plugging away, keep writing and putting stuff out, and that's all you can hope for from a side hustle, is that it gives you energy and doesn't take away energy from
Right.
what you're trying to do.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Creatively.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you guys have one more song for us, right?
Yeah.
We do.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
This
Let's
one's
hear it.
called Voyage.
Cool.
I got on a plane with you. That's when I found out how much you hated flying. I boarded a train for you. I thought for sure I would explode and overshare my love without so much as trying. Oh, my bag was heavy, you know how I hate to carry my own shit. Oh, I'm camera ready for you, baby, even when you don't deserve it. Oh, my bag was heavy, you know how I hate to carry my own shit. Oh, I'm camera ready for you, baby, even when you don't deserve it. No voyage is too long, long as you meet me on the other side. No voyage is too long, long as you meet me on the other side. No voyage is too long, long as you meet me on the other side. No voyage is too long, long as you meet me on the other side. I stood in the rain for you. I waited weeks for you to notice I was crying. It's always the same with you. Locked up inside your head until I'm close to dying. Oh, my bag was heavy, you know how I hate to carry my own shit. Oh, I'm camera ready for you, baby, even when you don't deserve it. No voyage is too long, long as you meet me on the other side. No voyage is too long, long as you meet me on the other side. No voyage is too long, long as you meet me on the other side.
great. Thank you guys so much for coming on. This is exactly
Thanks for having
how I
us.
wanted to spend my afternoon, morning-ish
This is
for you
how
guys.
we
but-
wanted to spend our
Yeah.
afternoon. Thanks for being so sweet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming on. You've alluded a bit to it, but what's coming up next for you guys? What's in the works for the rest of the year?
Well, we have another album that we are about to start rolling out. It's called Town Hall, and it's going to be a totally different vibe. It's going to be a lot more true to just sort of our lives in real time. Very different from, Happy Garden, which is sort of this former chapter of our lives that's been over for a while. It's going to kind of explain what the last 2 years have been.
Gotcha. Well, that's so exciting. And
Yeah,
for everybody,
we're stoked.
and for everybody watching at home until that comes out, definitely check out Happy Gardens wherever you stream music. Guys, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Thanks so
and
much,
thank you,
Jason.
Yeah. And take care, everybody. We'll see you next week for another live session. Alrighty. Take care, everybody.